Yes.
Hi.
Very good morning, everybody. I am Mrs. Ramkumari. Welcome you all on this lovely and fruitful, knowledgeable channel. Our today's topic is how emotional intelligence could help active learning. And for this topic, we have invited our super talented guest, which is from Taiwan. Her name is Ming. Ma'am Ming, we are requesting you here to kindly introduce yourself so we all will know you as you are.
Wow. Definitely. Hi. Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, everywhere. Friends from the globe. I'm Teacher Winnie. It's such a great pleasure to be here present in this wonderful, places with you and all dear friends. So let me introduce myself a little bit. I'm an educator, teacher from Taiwan. So if I may, I would like to using this slide to shortly introduce me myself. I'm the teacher, English teacher in Taiwan. So I can divide my role as different stages. In the first, I've been teaching about 20 years. In the first stages, I would say that I'm only English teacher, teaching English grammar in the classroom. So English language is my focus. And then with the teaching in the classroom, I feel lonely, I feel that the students are not motivated only by learning English. So I try to activate my classroom by extending learning digital tool. So I started to use the digital tool like a interactive whiteboard or many tool to try to vigorize my classroom, trying to motivate my student. So I learned to use the Google and Microsoft. So I think technology, can motivate my student a lot. I learned a lot from by standing outside my classroom learning this digital tool. So in the second stages, I would say that me as a digital Microsoft educator, and Google certified educator with so many wonderful apps like Wakelet, Flipgrid. So you name it, I learned it. So I would say that I'm, talented digital educator. And then when the third stage, COVID-19 come, I feel that even I got so many the digital tool in my classroom, it's not enough. I I really need to bring the world or take my student to know the world. So in the third stage, I trying to that I'm not only English teacher. I trying to teach my student real topic. I try to care about my student, not only about their performance on the academic test. I really care about my student. So that's why in after COVID-19, I try to care about their inner world and try to connect with my student using this digital tool. So that's why I got such a great blessing to know many global educators like you here today. And also learning not only my world is not only about in the school classroom. My world is become a real world. So I try to teach my student about real life lesson. So that's why on the third stage I was position myself as a lifelong learning educator. And also we always know that if you want your student to be lifelong learner educator, you need to be lifelong learner. So like today, I take the challenge to be here to share because share is caring. So that's why I always mention that I want to be a lifelong educator. I hope my student will learn from that too. Yeah, that's a short description of me. So now I would say that I'm the educator trying to be lifelong learner.
Lovely introduction, ma'am. Thank you so much. It's really awesome. Ma'am, now you please tell us, how do you become an educator? Which things
Yeah,
inspire you to become an educator?
yeah, like I mentioned that there are several stages in my in my teaching career. So I've been teaching 20 years already. So this career is still amazing. In the every day I'm learning. So every day is just like a new for me. So that's also I want to my student to feel about me. So every year I learn, and every year I try to teach a different topic. I think the most incredible, like I mentioned in the beginning, I say I'm only English teacher. I teach by the book. But now I would say that I'm an educator of lifelong learning. So I think there is a project, especially COVID-19 is a very turning point for me. I step outside my classroom. I try to think about why I'm teaching, what I'm going to teach about my student. Like I mentioned, if you teach English, but if they are not communicate, it's not useless. It's useless. So I think 2 years ago, I joined this global platform called Human Happiness Ambassador. This is a project very special. I say, what kind of a project it is? They focus on aiming, seeking for lifelong learning, and also making the student to understand that social emotional learning is important. You need to be happy person. No matter what you are seeking for, you are seeking for successful life, you are seeking for successful career, successful fan, popularity. You need to be a happy human being. So at that point, I try to, like I mentioned, that I try to focus on uh, why I'm teaching this to my student, why they are learning. I want them to be confident about themselves. So I think this human happiness ambassador is the first stepping stone to broaden my view about educator. So let's at that time I stepped outside using the digital form to connect with global educator. I know many wonderful educator like you today, and also, they are. I think last time, teacher Nimara, she is also here. So she's my great mentor and teacher. So I think this become educator needs some time and definitely need courage. You need to step outside your comfort zone. So I think this human happy ambassador is my first stepping stone. And I need to pay the credit to Mr. Pramod. He is also Indian educator. So he initiated this project, connected with a educator around the world. This project very special called Human Happiness Ambassador. It's really a great, awesome project. And in after the project, I know many educators, and then like a ripple, connecting the dot. I connect the one global educator, and then one educator connect the other educator. So we become a very, very friendly, informative global community. So that's why I got this opportunity to be here, present, share, and knowing, meeting all the global friends here. So it's really amazing. But definitely, as an educator, we need to step outside our comfort zone to take a challenge, to learn, to be open-minded. Yeah, so that's why I mean step outside the comfort zone is really the key to be educator. Otherwise, if we just stay in our classroom, that only be a teacher. So I think that's a pity, for a shame for our role as a facilitator.
That's a great. Really, teachers has to be the great facilitator. Ma'am, please guide us. What is your belief in teaching?
Yes, definitely. I think, like I say that happy teacher make happy learning, and lifelong educator teacher make lifelong learning educator. So I will show you that I've been teaching 20 years, right? So this is a picture. It keeps me, motivated to teach every minute, every day. So okay, I think maybe you can tell which one is me. So lots of a heart. This is a picture. Yeah, my student draw a portrait of me and with a bear. So that's some, focus of my classroom. I want to teach my classroom using English to communicate in the world, not only, be confident, loving yourself, and also loving animal in the world. So it just happened to me, my name, Miss Winnie the bear here in the center, and this is a heart. So I think represent that lots of a heart from me to my students, and also I received lots of a hearts from my students to me. And the Mandarin say, I feel that you are like a flower blossom. So I think I can imagine that this is so encouraging for me that when I am with my student, so I'm like a flower blossoming. Yeah, so which would mean that my student make me feel bloom, and also I imagine that I'm like a flower, so they can smell the fragrance. They have a lovely, enjoyable time with me. So that's why my belief is that you need to connect with your student so before you teach. So I think most of the people will know that maybe it's new emotional intelligence. So there are many perspective. So I think the first one, I heard about this emotional intelligence. um, I was not born to know this. I think maybe not everyone was born to know it. We need to learn. Teachers are not perfect. We also are learning from every minute, or even from our student. For me, I think everything we can learn from it. For somebody, maybe this is just a cartoon inside a brain inside out. It's a cartoon, just for kids. But I learned about we have a emotion, anger, sadness, happiness, and then some melancholy. And also we need to have this all emotion, makes whole person. But during the process, maybe you are not aware of this process. You will feel anger, you will feel sad, you will feel scared. These are all human being. So I try to so in my classroom, when my students they are not performing very well, I was thinking about they need more time. So maybe they are not blooming, they are not getting it right now, but I think they will get it. So this movie, is also a stepping stone for me. I was thinking about, when I look my student, I need to deep inside their brain. So I need to understand what's going on, what's inside. So for me, I think emotion, intelligence is just like a mirror. You teach what you are. When you look at the mirror, right? So the student are also looking at you. So we cannot, as a teacher, we cannot erase our emotion either. You teach what you are. You teach how you feel. So for every student, I try to be like a positive. I don't judge the student by their performance. I just want to recognize them as every individual human being. So I think this movie, I recommend that every educator, not only educator, even human being, you are most welcome. To learn from this movie. So tell you a secret that when I watch the movie, actually I'm following the character Molly. I cry when she realized that she grow, and sometimes happiness should come with sadness. That's the life. You cannot have everything you want, but you need to take it. So I definitely recommend this Brain Inside Out. You can watch and learn. And during this session, I feel that this is an iceberg, feeling iceberg, emotion iceberg. Sometimes in classroom or every human being, we see behavior, but sometimes we don't deep in down, to look what's really they're feeling. Maybe they feel anxiety, they feel anger. So there are some hidden emotion we need to, spend a lot to be sympathized, to emphasize them. So yeah, so that's why I mean the ice emotion iceberg is really clear and informative for us to sometimes we need to deep down dig inside to understand what's going on in my classroom, my students, and I mean even in our daily life, what's going on. Because sometimes we just observe the under above the surface. We don't know under the surface. So emotion intelligence help us to deep down. So that's why my belief is that we need to look under the surface. So what I believe is that we need to put Maslow's the basic need in before they learn. So we all know that students need to learn Bloom, many skill to learn. But I think if we don't fulfill their basic need, like they need to feel psychological, feel confidence. If they don't feel safe in your classroom, I think that if they don't have a self-esteem, if we don't give them, self recognition, and even you teach them, you know, before you teach them, you need to fulfill this, their basic needs. So that's what I believe in my teaching.
That's
Yeah,
great, really. And you are really the flower of knowledge here for us. And
yeah.
ma'am, on the basis of your beliefs, challenges you have faced.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, trust. So, like I mentioned, before we teach which count is very important. We need to put some Maslow's basic need into the priority before the broom. Okay, so that's what I believe. So when we teach, definitely, I think trust needs some time. So definitely, we will, observe some challenge. So that's why we challenge that. We ask ourselves, do we need emotional challenges for teacher? So definitely, good teacher need a strong emotion intelligence, understanding what makes student learn. They will motivate learn. I think definitely we cannot neglect the emotional this factor. But somehow I found when you are teaching with your student, you need some time because trust cannot be just established overnight. It takes time to establish your trust, empathy with your student. I think time will show. So as a teacher, you need to be like patient with your student. Yeah, and also maybe something you teach it's not the same with the common ground like your school environment or your peer. And also sometimes you need to like build a construction trust with your parents too. So there are some like a factor or community you need to like not only your student. So when we dig into under like an iceberg, you need to maybe spend more time. You need to be more patient. Maybe you need to like interview and interact with the students' parent. And maybe the teacher, other teacher, they don't, maybe they don't understand what you've been doing. You need to communicate with your peer teacher, and maybe the community don't understand. So I think that's a challenge, like a time teacher, you need to be patient, and tolerant. Because we always say that perfect, it's not we are seeking for perfect teacher. We are seeking for patience, perseverance teacher to build a connection and trust with your student. So it cannot be happening over time. So it's tough. And like I mentioned, as a teacher, you also need to be very strong emotional intelligence. Sometimes the student, parent don't understand you. You need to be like, don't feel disappointed. Don't feel upset. Give them time. They will understand. And also give yourself a time. So that's why we come to the emotional intelligence. What is the emotional intelligence? It's the ability to identify our own emotion and others. You need to self motivate ourselves and know how to monitor our emotion and others of the people around us. So that's what I mean. Teacher, you need to learn about the emotional intelligence, but definitely you need to be self motivated. It's important to you, ourselves, and also your student or your partner around you. So it's an important lesson topic, lifelong learning topic to learn. So you need to be patient and time. But it's worth learning. So like I mentioned, every minute I'm learning too. So this is emotional intelligence better for both. I mean, the both mean you, but definitely you need to put yourself in the center because the key of emotion, safety, emotional intelligence comes first to understand yourself, your emotion first. So that's why also I put that away in my student. The student need to know their emotion first. So lots of a challenge. I mean, it takes time. You need to educate your student and also give yourself time to understand this great topic.
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah.
Ma'am, tell us what are the social emotional intelligence?
Okay, definitely. Okay, let me just give you a short this one introduction. Okay, so emotional intelligence is not a new term. Actually, it was coined. Okay, so if you don't know like a teacher, if like I mentioned, you need to impress yourself. Take care of a teacher yourself first. If you don't, you will have a teacher burnout syndrome. It including some, emotional exhaustion. You unwilling to try anything, or you will have a low personal fulfillment. You are like a balloon. You are not like a battery, die out. And you will depersonalization, which means that you will lose the interest about your work. So that's why I mean, why I've been teaching 20 years, I'm still passionate. So the basic skill to in the knowledge is self knowledge. So self knowledge about yourself, the emotion, they come relationship with thoughts and action. So if you see behavior, you need to think about why. Okay. And emotion control. Once you know your emotion, you need to know that your skill to you control your emotion, to show in what time and when to show the emotion. And then you have a ability to motivate, like you are stressed, you are anger, you are anxiety. You know how to like a pump up to motivate yourself. And then definitely emotional intelligence, not only about yourself. We need to know the social and leadership skill. Try to make it possible to interact with the people in effective way. So which means that people won't get mistaken your emotion or treat you well. So that's why we call effective way. So there are some like a strategy I use in my classroom. If I may, I would like to show you. Definitely. Hello. Okay. Yep. So definitely, I mean the iceberg. We call iceberg theory is something I would like recommend all the teacher to try. So iceberg means that we see something under above, but we definitely need to dig inside. Okay, sorry, this is my slide. I'm trying to jump to. Okay, So when we talk about the emotional intelligence, there are some strategy, but definitely you need to be open-minded. Okay, the iceberg of the emotion, these are the behavior, but we need to like a deep inside to see maybe they feel like a anger, they feel they are not enough time fear anxiety, but just like Sherlock Holmes always say, you need to be an emotion detective. So sometimes we see the behavior, but sometimes we don't observe. So I think if you want to like use this skill in your teaching in your life, you need to like read and observe. So definitely there are some resources we can use in our life. I would recommend there are many picture book you can use with your student or even with your kids. So I think be like a Sherlock Holmes, be an emotion detective. So these are the books I would like to recommend you to read. So we can focus on these stages that when we talk about emotional intelligence, the first, self-awareness is the key issue. And then when you understand your emotion, anger, upset, stress, and then you can do some self-regulation. You will know, oh, when you are down, you know how to, encourage yourself, motivate yourself. Or when you are anger, you know how to control your like a mindfulness. When you want to do something, you can do self-regulation and then motivation, right? Like I mentioned, it's an interaction. You can motivate yourself or motivate others. And empathy is the really also key issue when we talk about emotional in and you need to put yourself in others' shoe. So empathy is also a very key concept when we talk about you need to really put yourself in other people's position. Yeah, and social skill definitely we need to understand, tolerate, for other. So definitely, I think when we talking about emotional intelligence, self-awareness is the key issue. So these are the books I always want to share with all educator, especially for young learner. Actually, I think young learner, like I mentioned, uh, they don't know, they cannot control their brain and action. And actually, they don't know what happening inside. So the Carter Monster is a book by Anna Lennox. I think it's a great book that you can show your students, your young learner, especially, or you have a toddler kids, your emotion, just like a color, you know. Color, they are all kinds of color, like a red, green, yellow, blue, black, and pink. Actually, this color will give you a different feeling. For example, if you are happy, so maybe the color is yellow. So if you feel anger, maybe the color is red. If you feel scared, maybe the color is black. So if you feel, oh, today I'm so calm, so we will feel blue. So this color is a great tool for you to show that, oh, your kids, how are you feeling today? Especially when you know the kids are mixed up like anger. Usually they don't know how, they don't know how to express. So this book showed me that sometimes your emotion don't work well, they all are mixed up, jumbled up, and then we should separate them into different color jar. So I think using this material, we can show our students we have a different emotion. So when you don't know, you need to know, oh, you are feeling blue. So maybe today you feel a little bit calm. So if you are feeling, oh, happy, so you feel yellow. So if you feel scared, something worry about, so you feel like a black. So it's really a good material for us to show our students about understanding. Remember, I say understanding self-awareness is the key issue for your student to understand. And these are another one resource I would like to show you. Understanding our feelings and emotion using a very interesting way. See this book. How are you feeling today? This is so funny, and so interesting. So food also with some mood. So it's a different perspective to look about the world. So see the orange, see the onion, see the pepper. They all got different, emotion. This is a great fun book for you to show your student to see, to understand our emotion and feeling. Okay. And then we talk about self-regulate, right? So if you don't understand, oh, I'm angry, what shall we do? I think this is a great book you can share with your student, understanding your own feeling. This is a little girl called Sophie. She got, in the family, she got a trouble with her younger brother. She feel not fair. Okay, she feel anger. Why mom treat her brother, better than me, so she feel angry. But instead of angry, breaking thing at home, she walk outside her house to climb the tree to enjoy the view. So this is a book you can also ask your kids to sympathize empathy with Sophie and learn the skill about self-regulation of your anger. When you are angry, you observe, detect your anger, you can definitely can do something with to ease your anger. So this one, peaceful spot. So this is a wonderful, wonderful, because when you are dealing with emotion, you don't want to talk, too many, scientific data. You want to use simple, straight, and easy understand way. So this is called a little peaceful spot. A book of a series written by Diane Albert. So this is a peaceful spot is a really good resource for you to share with your student that everyone got a peaceful spot whenever the an
Yes, ma'am.
emotion are just coming up. You just need to find your peaceful spot. They are just there,
Yes,
so they use a simple
definitely.
strategy. They use
Yes,
simple
ma'am,
strategy.
definitely.
Yeah. So when you are angry, see, you just ask your student to see their finger. That this is your red spot, and there are four pieces spot. You just need to count one, two, three, four, and then using this simple strategy, one, two, three, four, and then tap your peaceful spot. One, two, three, four, and then do that several times. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. So that's the peaceable spot. You can find your peaceful spot. They are just there. So they can show your students the skill to calm down or ease their anger. So I think these are some very practical way, simple and easy. See, this is the one I mentioned your peaceful spot. But right now there are so many anger spot here, right? So you just need to find your peaceful spot. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. So coping with your anger with this, simple and fun, easy strategy with your student. I think we can definitely, even adult can learn. So this is such a, amazing topic. I could talk and talk, and these are another, see, everyone, you will be
Yes, ma'am. Thank you
anxiety.
so much, ma'am, for your vast knowledge. In a very funny way, you have explained this emotional topic, which is really fruitful and knowledgeable for everybody. Not only for the students, but for we adult, we educated also need to take care of these your this given action and your color memories, that beautiful fruits which you have explained us how we
Yeah.
can control our emotions. And see, today I
Yes,
have
yes.
worn yellow color. That means I'm very happy. Thank you so much for your vast knowledge, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you for inviting me to be here. Like I mentioned, it's a lifelong learning topic. It's always worth exploring. So definitely be like a Sherlock Holmes. See and observe.